Well, with some of the world's biggest companies ranging from Amazon and Apple to Microsoft already rolling out AI into the technology we all use, I decided to catch up with the head of Digital Europe. It represents the opinions of those tech giants, plus 45,000 other companies, to Europe's politicians. Cecilia Bonefeld-Dahl, a real pleasure having you on the show. And Cecilia, look, let me start with this, the basics. What do you make of these regulations?
Well, it is the EU basically making the first ever AI regulation in the world. And of course, the whole world was watching. It does, hopefully, with time, create the legal clarity for companies to implement and to use AI much more actively. But it certainly does also, pose many challenges for European companies that are quite far behind. I mean, only 8% of companies in EU is actually using AI, whereas, for example, in the US, that number is 50%, and in China, it's 70%. So it will actually give us extra burden, and we'll have to see if we manage to strike that balance between a very swift legal clarity and ease of implementation and actually boosting the uptake of AI.
Well, the question has to be, what can be done to boost the AI uptake in Europe?
I think, first of all, we need to create that legal clarity. And are you compliant? Are they in high risk? It's by law that you need an AI sandbox in each country. I hope that they're going to work across country together so the countries can basically scale across borders. And last but not least, of course, I mean, venture capital, we need to discuss how we attract more investment in Europe. It's a huge issue. And then more talent again. So talent, I would say, we need the competencies, we need the capital, and we need a common market that is scalable across border.
And Cecilia, do you think they've got the balance right between protecting people versus stopping the potential of the technology?
I mean, we do support the risk-based approach, and actually we've been a part, of course, industry have been consulted, and we've been a part of making the risk-based approach where we look at the use of AI, not the technology itself, where we have the risk-based approach where, for example, AI in healthcare or AI in critical infrastructure, in recruitment of people, is considered high-risk scenarios where really big systemic mistakes can happen. Whereas, for example, your algorithm selecting your next Netflix movie is not considered high risk. So I think that actually strikes a very good balance. If you look at what we call generative AI, we were definitely not in favor of having that regulated. It is kind of looking at a specific technology that will change extremely fast and where Europe already is far behind. So there will be extra burden on European companies to basically use these generative AI foundation models now, which is quite challenging and maybe not the right way that we would have liked to see this regulated.
And Cecilia, I want to talk about cost. How much of a cost burden do these regulations place on a business wanting to, well, offer an AI product?
What we do know is just in direct cost, hours spent by employees. For a company that is like a medium-sized or even small company, like 50, 100 people, would be around 300,000 euros. And remember, this is only one regulation. So should we actually create some kind of grant or allowances or, schemes for companies that wants to invest in being compliant and adoption of AI to accelerate this kind of both the compliance, but also the uptake and the adoption of AI into small and medium-sized companies in Europe? We definitely need some kind of accelerator so we don't get even further slowed down.
Do you think that'll mean small businesses are just going to be shut out?
Yes, for sure. And of course, I mean, you cannot solve everything with the regulation. It's a part of the equation. If you want things to grow and to succeed, there needs to be what I said before, competences, capital, and a big common market.
And Cecilia, let me end on this. 5 years' time, do you think Europe will be better off for moving first?
I think that it has created an awareness around AI that now needs to be followed by investment, understanding of how to bring the educational system, the workforce into there, and also how to build a digital defense, which is still to be seen. The focus is there, but we need to move faster than we have done before.
Well, on that point, Cecilia Bonefeld-Dahl, Director General of Digital Europe, a real pleasure having you with us. Thanks for your time. Good luck with everything, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing me, Aaron.